Welcome to today's video, where we dive into the concept of hypersimplification and its impact on our understanding of complex issues. The world is a messy, complicated place, full of grey areas and interconnected systems. But sometimes, to make a point or sell a product, we tend to oversimplify. While simplification can be a powerful tool, taking it too far risks losing sight of what makes these issues important and human. Get ready to flex those critical thinking muscles, folks, because things are about to get complicated in the best way possible. First up, let's talk about nuance, that beautiful, messy tapestry of details that makes life so interesting. We reduce complex issues down to overly simplistic binaries, good versus bad, right versus wrong, us versus them. But the real world rarely operates in such absolutes. Think about any major historical event, scientific breakthrough, or even just a disagreement you've had with a friend. Are there really only two sides to the story? Of course not. There are countless perspectives, motivations, and contributing factors. Ignoring these nuances flattens the conversation, stripping away the context that gives the issue meaning and depth. This kind of thinking can stifle debate, prevent compromise, and ultimately hinder our ability to find meaningful solutions to complex problems. Imagine trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle, but with half the pieces missing. That's what it's like trying to understand a complex issue without considering the context. Context provides the crucial background information, the historical events, the social structures, the economic factors, all the pieces that fit together to create the bigger picture. Hypersimplification often disregards context, presenting a skewed version of reality that lacks the necessary depth. Let's say there's a debate about income inequality. A hypersimplified argument might focus solely on the gap between the wealthy and the poor, without considering factors like historical discrimination or access to education. Without this context, we're left with an incomplete and potentially misleading understanding of the issue. We humans love patterns, but in our quest for simplification, we often fall into the trap of overgeneralization. We take a few isolated examples and extrapolate them to represent an entire group, ignoring the diversity and complexity within that group. Think about stereotypes, those sweeping statements that assume everyone from a particular background, culture, or group shares the same characteristics. These generalizations are not only inaccurate but can be incredibly harmful, perpetuating prejudice and discrimination. Overgeneralization can also lead us astray when it comes to understanding complex issues. For example, reading an article about a study that found a correlation between video games and aggressive behavior might tempt us to conclude that all video games make people more aggressive, ignoring vast differences in genres and individual differences. Emotions are powerful motivators. They influence our decisions, shape our beliefs, and can even override our rational thinking. Hypersimplification often relies on emotional appeals, tapping into our deepest fears, prejudices, and desires. Think about political campaigns, for example. Candidates often resort to fear-mongering or scapegoating, simplifying complex issues into easily digestible narratives that evoke strong emotional responses. This can be an effective way to rally support, but it often comes at the expense of truth, accuracy, and thoughtful debate. When we're emotionally charged, we're less likely to question the information presented to us or consider alternative viewpoints. So there you have it, a glimpse into the dangers of hypersimplification. It's tempting to seek easy answers in a world that often feels overwhelmingly complex. But oversimplification can lead to distorted understandings and flawed decision-making. We need to be wary of overly simplistic narratives, seek out diverse perspectives, and embrace the messiness and nuance that make life so interesting. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.